What's the difference between a story and a plot? Isn't it the same thing? Not quite. A story structure, also known as a narrative structure, is the order in which elements of a narrative are presented to the reader or audience. But in order to understand how story structures actually work, we have to talk about its two main components first. The story is the timeline on which we move. It's basically the sequence of events in our narrative. The point of a plot is to support a story, to make a story come to life. It gives context to your story and how or why certain things happen within your story. If you are unsure which part of your story is which, you can ask yourself these two questions. The question "and then" always refers to the structural story elements. In order to find out what the plot is, we ask, why? Let's see how this would look in a story. The story happens along with this horizontal graph. We'll call this axis the runtime axis. This is where every individual event or sequence of events occurs in our story. Over here on the left we have what I'll call the state axis. This axis represents the state of being of our characters and the plot that is happening along with our story. In our story, our main character starts off by living in a state of fairly well-being. He has everything he wants and there is nothing to really complain about. Until one day, out of the blue, his home is swarmed with all sorts of occupants. Now our main character is in distress. His state of being drops from here all the way down here. And the only thing that's going to change that is getting rid of the nuisance. He wants to make the occupants leave who refuse to go by themselves, and now he sets off on a journey to go and file a complaint to the authorities. The movie we're talking about, of course, is Shrek, our beloved ogre who wants nothing but his peace and quiet. Believe it or not though, Shrek is a prime example of a well-executed 3-act story structure. But we'll take a look at the different models of how to build a story in the future. Back to our graph. You can see how this graph gives context to the events of our story. Now it's not simply a series of events, but something we can understand and even relate to. And a story can have more than one plot. Once we have the core structure and the main plot of our story laid out, we can now add more plots and more plots, subplots, plot twists, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. It's important to note that both story and plot do not happen individually. They are the DNA of every narrative. Both are causes and results of each other and usually cannot exist without one another. Unfortunately, when a plot is missing from the story or it feels disjointed, the real question in a reader's mind is, what? The plot delivers the reassurance that there is a point to listening to the story. It's the main aspect that holds a reader's interest. To achieve a successful narrative, we need to create both a coherent story and a plot. A story is a sequence of events that takes the reader on a journey from beginning to end. And a plot is the context that allows you to tell the story in the most engaging and effective way. It's our task as storytellers to effectively and efficiently weave these two parts together and to create a story that is unique and exciting. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful and informative, and we'll see each other again next time. Bye!